Okay. Hello and welcome in, everyone. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, we're gardening. We're planting out a big garden I bought from Costco. We got bleeding hearts. We have trilliums. These beautiful guys, very beautiful guys. And we have other fun plants as well. So, I'm going to kind of get into things here quickly. But first, I gotta have my emotional support beer first. So, cheers. It's a really good beer from Bell's. Now, so as you can see here, we have yard, but there's not a lot of green in it. Very little green. But that is by design. That is thanks to all this wonderful stuff. This wonderful stuff being called wood chips. So, this is underneath my maple. And because it's underneath my maple, I have mulched it. I've mulched the entire drip line of the tree somewhat aggressively with wood chips. And that is all by design. So we got ourselves probably about a little bit more than a 1-inch layer of wood chips. So right now, as I really just want to get as much as I can of this stuff. Kind of expose bare dirt. So once I've got bare dirt exposed, oh wait, yeah. This is going to be our first planting. So we're going to be working with trillium. So it's a very nice shade enjoying flower. Produces 3 leaves and a flower with 3 petals. Now, okay, so it calls for 1 inch depth. Just wanted to double check my planting depth because, so I think with this little bit of area I have, I think I've got enough room to do, I think, a planting of 4. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and trench this out, and we'll see how things are. Now, that's one thing I really like about this Hori Hori. This actually isn't the Hori Hori. This is a Yamaho. It's actually got a blade on it, and it's the sharp point. Well, actually, this shape to it is really good for trenching. Oh, yeah. Yes, we are gardening. We are gardening today. We are playing in the dirt because it's fun to play in the dirt. I mean, I like playing in the dirt. So I'm gonna get everything trenched out to about 1 inch deep. Now I will be cutting a small amount of surface roots for the tree here. So, but that's no big deal. That's not gonna harm the tree in any big way whatsoever. So, I'm gonna grab my bare roots. So, dig in here. There we go. Those as you can see, they're already trying to do their thing. Oh, wow, that camera was GoPro was acting up a little bit there. But yeah, they're already trying to do their little thing. So now the key part is these are a rhizomal plant. And the rhizome is this. It's basically a large, thick taproot. And then off of that, it will have smaller roots. So, and also a note on what I bought. Half of them are white and the other half are like a red-brown. And so I basically, in this box, since the potting medium was looking a little bit dry, I went ahead and emptied out the bags that were in these containers into here in order to, and I added moisture to this just to kind of get them, rehydrated before I plant them. So I put the whites on one side and the reds on the other. I've actually long since forgot, but I know roughly if I pull from one side of the container, I'm pulling one color. If I'm pulling from this side of the color, I'm pulling the other color, and that'll help me mix up the colors here. So we'll grab our first victim here, and we'll deposit him over here behind my model. So, actually, we're gonna go ahead and just lay these guys out. So we're gonna plant them roughly 6 inches, centimeters. I think that's 15 centimeters for people who live in actual civilization. I live in the pseudo civilization of America. So that's gonna be, and then we'll just pull from opposite sides. And I need to be very careful here and make sure I don't damage them. So how many different shade flowers did you get from Costco? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 basic types. So we're going to go ahead and take care of the trilliums first, because all these are going to be in one spot, one kind of general area here. Then after we get those guys taken care of, we're going to crack open our Inchera, bleeding hearts. I just know these guys as bleeding hearts. So we got 6 of these. So a couple, not a whole lot. And then we got 2 of these big boxes. And then my big boxes, I have hostas. Then there's actually varieties of stuff in these boxes. And then the other one that's in with the hostas is the Asterby. So, and this is Asterby Amethyst. This makes a nice purple flower. I think the other one is Maggie Daly, and I think this guy here makes pink flowers. But we're going to be planting these guys with the hostas, and we're going to kind of mix them around. Size 1, count. Okay. But yeah, I definitely want more hostas here. Hostas are the big thing I want. Ugh. So we're just gonna, so for the roots, we're gonna get a very generous helping of soil. We'll just put that soil back where we got it from. And for those who are still poking up, that'll be fine, because we'll just pack that down lightly. I'm actually kind of lucky because it actually rained the day before I did this, so I have really wet soil to work with. So that's going to be our first line, and then using the glove, using a little bit of this, we'll kind of rake and set wood chips over everything. And the wood chips will help kind of protect it for a little bit until it's ready to fully poke on out, because I actually do have a freeze warning tonight. So I have to worry about that. But I do want to keep track of what I planted where. And for that, we have tape. This is like surveyor's tape. And then I've also got some galvanized wire here. And really what I'm going to do is really nothing all that particularly impressive. But I'm going to cut off a little piece of wire. I learned recently that wood chips are indeed solid to have on top of soil for your plants to help them. Yep. Wood chips are great on top, on the surface level. Wood chips are definitely not something you wish to like incorporate down into the soil, because if you incorporate them down into the soil, they will take up too much nitrogen. But if you're doing them just as a surface dressing, then you're perfectly good to work with wood chips. Added note, and this is more for trees, using wood chip mulch is really good for trees because a lot of trees grow in forests with other trees. And what the wood chip mulch does is it actually changes the microbiome of the dirt and actually shifts it away from bacteria, versus like if you were to have a lawn, and actually shifts it a little bit more towards fungi, decomposers, because like some of these wood chips are white because of fungus in them, working on them. So it does a lot of good stuff for trees specifically. Now I have to figure out if I can open this. I mean, worst comes to worst, I always had the handy pocket knife. True. Let's see. Without doing too much damage. I was a little bit worried about doing too. Oh yeah, I was worried about doing too much damage because knife sharp. Brand new knife. Woo. We'll go ahead and we'll get rid of this guy. That's gonna go to the pocket. The dark pocket. Never to see the light of day again. Well, until the end of stream. So, I have a slight little piece. And then on here, I can just write what I've got. So, and then this is going to be part of my marking strategy. Just because I really want to keep track of what I stick where, so that way I can check up on it later. So what I'm going to do, so I've got my piece of wire and my landscaping flagging. And this is no different than any landscaping flagging you can find at construction sites or something. Like you can just buy this stuff. I mean, any hardware store should be able to carry stuff like this. So if I can get a knot in this, which is a little tricky because some of the end of this is sticky. There we go. So if I got a good knot in it, then I'm going to mark it. And then this is going to go down on the ground. Right around there. And then that's going to mark one corner of the planting. Because what I'm going to do with the trilliums is they're going to all be in they're going to be in a big block planting. We're going to do a block style planting with them. Sometimes people will do like interspace, have other stuff in between. We're going to do a block planting for these plants just because, one, that's what I want to do. Also, I just want to do a massing of them. Man, my GoPro's just having fun today. So, I'm going to come back. So, we did row of 4 here. Now we get ready for the next row. And we just do rows. Row and row and row. And that's going to be the block planting. Now, eventually, I might I might stick a flag over here on this corner just to grab that corner. But for now I dig. We dig. Oh, Flashvid. Hello. I hope you're having a good Friday. Let's see. Can we just dig this our handy dandy little trench out a little bit more? Come on. Man. All that moisture has made my soil very sticky. Which, I mean, for the plants, it's good that I have lots of soil moisture, but it makes it very sticky. Oh. Let's grab. Ooh. So we got one of our terrariums here. Into the ground. Let's see. Grab terrarium 2. Goes down there. Now that is a thing with some of these peat mosses. It's really hard to find all your plants in them. It's a search. Okay, we got a third plant. And then go down there. I think. Well, I actually don't just think. I practically know at this point. We're gonna have room for 5 in this row. Where is your root? Because I have to because you gotta really handle these, because if they start leafing out like this, it is very important that you don't handle them by this. It's way too fragile. You need to handle it by the ribosome. So that's gonna get tucked down in there. And then I'm gonna grab my glove. And we'll get these guys buried in. Put the soil back on. Kind of get it crumpled up. Trying not to put too much. Not trying to be too hard on them. It does look very fragile. Rose and ribosome, that means something to me. Oh. It should mean something to you, Haggle. Ribosome. I mean, that's how you buy hops. If you want to grow hops, you gotta have hop ribosomes. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, we'll just cover this up. And then we'll bring our wood chips back. And that's going to be row 2 of the terrariums. And I'm going to scooch this towards me. And I'm going to scoot back. And then, actually, I need to adjust. Extend my gardening knowledge that lived free since I took horticultural class is pile them up, blow them down. Oh man, fair, more than fair. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna just kill this stuff. This is Star Bethlehem, which I think is an introduced species to the US, but I'm not 100% sure at this time. And shucks, now we're starting to get leafy. Now we're starting to get a little bit leafy here. Let's see. Honestly, we're gonna go really big. Teacher preached it, saying it would be the one thing he preached, sure we know, and he did. Oh man, you gotta love teachers like that who are like, okay, class, you're not gonna learn everything I taught you, but you're gonna learn this one thing, and I'm gonna damn make sure you learn this one thing. So that clears all the debris. Star of Bethlehem since leg. Herbal remedy. Oh no, it actually has a star-shaped flower. That's kind of why they call it Star of Bethlehem. It's reasonably pretty, but I do also know it's poisonous. So don't eat the stuff. Sometimes people will confuse it with wild garlic and eat it, and they'll get upset tummies. You don't want an upset tummy. Man, this mud just... Well, yeah, it's pretty mud. Gotcha. Yeah. If we end up encountering any edible plants, I might pop them in my mouth. This sounds intriguing. Well, as you can tell so far, there's really not a whole lot of plant life here because we are underneath a maple tree. Shit. Let's see. I feel like I got a rhyme zone there. Maybe. I see roots. There's a rhyme zone there. That indeed there is. So that's going to go at the far end here. So it looks like we did 3 and we're kind of expanding out in like a triangle. I'm okay with that. Oh, there we go. There's the next rhyme zone. Man, half the battle with these guys is going to be just finding them. That is going to be half the battle. Just finding these guys. Because they're just buried. Come on. I know there's more plants in here. There should be more plants in here. Because we should have about a dozen. Because we did 4, then 5, plus 3. Actually, we should have enough to finish out this row if we're lucky. I don't know. I'm not getting lucky. I can't find my plants. There's no plants. Oh, there's a plant. Got one more. So we'll do that one there. Creepers. I just cannot find. That's like 4. But is that it? 4, 5, and 4. Does that make a dozen? Oh, there's a rhyme zone. There's actually one without a lot of the peat moss and such on it. So we got that color. And I'm just gonna keep going through this bend. We might be close to done, which means the first plant's done. Oop. I'm actually gonna start using this to cover up my other plants here. Yep, that's it. Gone. First planting done. Well, first grouping of plants done. So, yay! So, we'll go ahead, get everything recovered up the dirt. And after the dirt's taken care of and back where it goes, I'm gonna just throw some wood chips back on it. And then with all this, it is time for a beer. A little bit of beer. It's congrats on for getting the first group done. Oh, thank you. It's a little bit cold. It's about 43. It's 48 in freedom units. But otherwise, the weather's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay. So I'm going to set up some markers now because I want to know where this stuff is for future reference. Let's see. So basically, these are the markers I'm going to be making. I'm probably going to do one here, and then I'm going to do one up here, and then that's going to be kind of where all those are going to be. I need to make one more marker. Well, I need one more piece. Because I want to keep track of where these plants are, so that way you can look to see if they come up or not. If I don't keep track, then I might step on them or something, because I have other plans in this area. So once I got my markers set and ready, I got some galvanized wire here. Then using a set of good old lineman's pliers, I just cut off random section lengths. You don't really have to get scientific with it. You just need some short sections. And then we'll grab our wire. And then put a knot in our flagging. And there we go. That's a marker. So, and that's going to go there. So, from this marker to that marker, this way is going to be the trilliums. And I'm doing the trilliums as a block planting. So let's tie. But yeah, gardening is not exactly high octane action, but hey, you know what? It's what I think is fun. So I've got the trilliums marked out. That's our first plant done. Now we get to get into plant number 2. So let me grab my various goodies. And let's see how I want to do this. Because I don't know, do we want to... You know what? We're going to do our first adventure. So, there we go. Now I just don't want to get my... Oh. Ah! Almost lost it. Almost lost my razor knife. I like that razor knife. It's Milwaukee. Milwaukee. Good brand. Okay, so here's going to be our next plant for today. Doing bleeding hearts. So, I got the bag opened up. And there we go. So we want to do these guys at a depth of 2 inches this time. And since I'm not going to be doing the block style planting, we're going to actually be digging individual holes, which, let me cut this open now. Oh, there we go. Right, for individual holes, I don't want this. The hori-hori, well, this isn't the hori-hori. Actually, wait. That's a hori-hori. This is a Ginmaho. I want the hori-hori for individual plantings. So I'm thinking here for our first spot. So, step 1, clear debris. Step 2, remove your invasive species. Which we got ourselves a little bit of winter creeper here. Invasive species. And now the setting sun is burning out my laptop screen. So here you get to see the superiority of the hori-hori in action. Pretty good at digging like nice, like targeted holes. So gonna get down in here. We're gonna be digging ourselves a nice little hole. So we got ourselves a tree root, but no tree root can stop me thanks to that serrated edge. That serrated edge is a hell of a resource when it comes to using these guys. So that allowed me to cut that tree root I had. So, and then we just kind of dig it out a little bit more. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it. Yeah. I'm a male in my natural habitat. I'm a male digging a hole. And at some point I need to actually find an actual reason to like really dig a big hole for a stream. So I think we got ourselves a nice good little bit of hole, and there is our first bleeding heart. We're gonna just tuck them down in there, nice and so. I'm gonna grab my glove. Then we're just gonna cover that back up. And give it a nice pat. And then I'm gonna stick that there. Now we do our next marking section. Now another marking part of this is probably the least entertaining, but this is also really important for me because this is what allows me to check back in on these plants at a later date. And oh dear gosh, the clouds have parted. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I whoopsie-doodled. I did a whoopsie. I did not return my marker to its magic pocket, and... Oh, wait. That's all. Wait. There's... Why do I... Oh, hazer's on. Damn. The leaf litter, it ate my marker. Man. Damn leaf litter. Eating my markers. How am I supposed to mark my plantings? I mean, I can just tape them, but I would actually like to mark what I actually put down there, but I have... Damn, I was getting way too enthusiastic with planting. I had too much fun. Damn, too much fun. Yeah. Too much fun. Too much fun was had. So, we're just going to take our wire for the U, and then we're just going to mark where these plants go, because as much as I would like to actually label, I've lost my labeling capabilities, unfortunately. So that's kind of a womp womp. Hey, you know. Apparently, I also suck at tying knots. Okay. There we go. So we got ourselves the U, piece of metal, and that's going to go down in there. And then I know there's a plant there that I can check back later. So many, don't we all? Yeah. Most of these leaves should be maples. Because we're actually, so. And also, like, good on you for actually using, like, the actual correct emoji. I mean, I'm sure it was just luck, too, also, but yeah. Mostly maple leaves with a mix of red oak leaves is a lot of the leaves I have in this area. Let's see here. So we've got a bleeding heart here. What's the spacing on these bad boys? Height, depth, spacing. Wait, you want 2 feet? 2 whole feet? So if I got a guy here, it means I gotta go to there. And oh hey. Yeah. More invasive plant. Right. So let's do, oh, okay, so we can see knife coon. Yay, we can see our blades. Yeah. There we go. And I dream of the day I'll find that marker. I don't know, I will actually probably, it'll be a lot easier for me to go through everything here after stream, but until then I dig hole. The good old base nature of man. Digging holes. Digging. Oh, wow. Granted, this is a fun thing about a lot of this area has been just... Wait. Oh, wait. Is it... It might be... Yeah, it might be the fact that the sun's behind my back. That's why the iPhone's tracking is. I'm losing it. There we go. That's got... I had a tree root there, but past that, we're good. Let's get into the magic goodie bag. Grab ourselves a nice... Whoop. So we got ourselves a nice little root mass here. Now this one's a bit bigger than the last one. I think I'm gonna have to make my hole a little bit bigger to accommodate this plant. And whenever you're planting, you always want to make your hole too big versus too small. Too small of a hole, not so good. Too big. It's better to be too big than too small. So, just stick that feller down in there. Let me grab this. And then after I get this plant in, I gotta move the setup. Because I'm being blasted by the light. Okay. Give it some gentle tapping. Nothing too aggressive. Don't be too aggressive towards your plants. You can be a little bit aggressive, but not too much. And galvanized wire coon. Am I the only guy out there who thinks that galvanized wire is pretty great? Granted, I probably am. Well, amongst VTubers, maybe. Okay, so get ourselves our nice little U. Bring our thing in. Get ourselves a little knot. And also the thing I like about this marking stuff, it's really bright. It's really, really, really bright. So it's going to be very easy for me to keep track of where everything is in relation to everything else. So, yeah. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to have another sip of beer, and then I'm going to get up and we're going to move the setup again. Because apparently tracking doesn't like to work when the sun's at your back. So we'll do, let's see, where do we want to go next? Let's journey. Cool. To there. Yeah. Oh man, that's better. Oh man, the world of difference it makes when things are not like super in the way. Okay. Now. So this little guy here is our most recent planted. So I think now it's time to have some fun with some hostas. It is hosta time. Because we're going to do 2 bleeding hearts there. I think. Ah! I'm usually good about this. Ah! There we go. I'm not a professional knife thrower, but I can occasionally get it right sometimes. So, gotta open our magic bag. Look at our pre-hostas. And there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Actually, oh. Okay. Weird. We might be okay. We might be okay. Remember, kids, streaming outside's dangerous. Only to be attempted by trained VTubers. Oh gosh. And that there is a mini tree. That's not going to mini tree anymore. So we're going to do pasta there. Trying to see where that is, but so actually, I need instructions. Because just because I'm a guy doesn't excuse me from not reading. Oh wow, these are actually just very generic instructions. Powerful sun, other. Generally, tulips, others should be planted at depth that is 2 to 3 times most blobs flatten. Huh. Okay. Well. Not a lot of instructions given. So, what I'm going to do is... Whoa! Are we going to do this all day? We might be doing this all day. Oh gosh. Or all stream. Whichever lasts longer. Well, stream's not going to be all day. It's just not. Boy, oh boy. I was wondering before stream if I should have brought out a slightly more powerful shovel, but I was like, nah, it's rained. It's rained. The rain will make the ground nice and soft. It has. It's just I also have to deal with a lot of tree roots in this stuff because... Ooh. There we go. I think we got pretty good. It's pretty good hole in terms of depth. Let's see if we can. Granted, sounds like there's a lot of water at the bottom of it, which good for the plant. Good for the plant. So let's see. Let's get this guy down on here. I just want to see. Wait. Oh man. What a time. So, I got a lot of read on there. I have more depth. Wait. Oh! Is that a metal thing? Feels like a... Is that a metal thing or a clay thing? Or is it just a rock? It's a rock! Yay! We found a rock. Man, it's not every day you get to find a rock. Okay, how much? Because I want to have a good amount of depth, because this is my base. So for my hosta, this is my growing node here. And then these are all the roots down here. So I want this to just be a hair bit underneath soil level is the game plan. So we'll see. We will see what we can do. So let's go ahead. Tuck that back down in there now. And then looking at where that's falling in there, I am reasonably happy with that. So There we go. And all those leaves, dirt, fun stuff gets packed down. Stab a knife nearby to a mark. Really should have. Really need to make a habit of just keeping the lineman pliers in my hand. Not my hand, but on my in a pocket. Pocket. That's what we want. In a pocket. There we go. So once again, bend a loop-de-loop. Once we have a loop-de-loop, tie it off. Because like I have mentioned that I want to do this from the perspective of being able to like check on this stuff later, but this also helps me with the planting here and today, because, well, over here I know I have a bleeding heart, and then here I have a hosta, and this helps me make sure I don't stick something too close to the other somethings. So that's also another good reason too. Mark your planting for plants like this, because when you bury your plants, it's your plants are buried. You can't readily find them. So I'm gonna have a beer. And I'm thinking some spot in here. I don't know. The question is, do I do an Astorby or do I do another hosta in here? Oh, you guys can't see over there. Oop, don't spill beer. Beer's not allowed to be spilled. Oh. Yeah, that is a little bit off, actually. This is the most troubling aspect of... Wait, can you see it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Of doing gardening stuff is I can't be set up and stay in one area. Oh! Oh, dearie. Oh, the ring light fell. Because of course it did. Ugh. So let... Oh. What did I do? Let's see here. No? Looks good. Looks reasonable. At least I know for sure I need to work on a better... some sort of better method for supporting the iPhone. Because you better believe there's going to be more of this. I am anything but done. Well, there's just going to be plenty more gardening incoming. Just forewarned. I know some people might like the campfire cooking stuff, which, yes, there's still going to be some more of that. There will be a campfire cooking stream next week. Okay. dig. Digging a hole. Digging a hole. Digging a hole. Man, that stuff is like mucky. Mucky, 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 mucky. But it's full of moisture, too. Dig a hole. Dig a hole. Dig a hole. Okay. So, I want to mix things up. Let's see. Because we've got Bleeding Heart, Hosta. Where is Astrobead? Here's the Astrobead. Let me crack you wide open. There we go. Come on. Come on. Ooh. Look at that adorable little feller. So, wowie, I think you might actually be perfectly sized for this hole. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it when a hole turns out to be perfect. Perfect for the intended use. So, we're just going to go ahead and I'm not even going to really tap it down because there was just so much growth coming out of it. I really don't want to. I'm concerned if I tap it down, I'll break it. Don't want to do that. Don't want to hurt these plants. I like these plants. I like plants. I like trees more, but I also like plants. I mean, trees are also plants. They're just a different kind of plant. Snip you. And now Sugi finds magic marking tape. I feel like I've done more marking than I've done digging. Which I suppose is okay, but I mean, it's just there's a lot of aspects of gardening you can just kind of be like YOLO, just go at it, have fun. But there's other aspects where it's like, you're better off playing a little bit. So, I'm thinking for our next adventure, how about we go over here? Oh. There we go. Because I'm thinking here to here. So we got Astrobead here in this area. You can kind of see where our other hosta is. We'll do a hosta here. Really should be wearing gloves. Sugi, don't be getting dirt into your open flesh ones, man. Okay, get the leaves off. And we'll brush the wood chips to a side. And once we get the wood chips to a side, you start digging. I think this one's going to be another hosta. And then the one after this, we'll do another Bleeding Heart. Into what? Oh shucks, I forgot that. I forgot my train of thought, Zarzon. Also, how's your Friday going? I hope you're having a good Friday. Mine's going pretty good. After stream, I'm gonna head out of town, visit a friendo, and then tomorrow, I think you. Oh yeah, flesh wound. Yeah. So, pinky finger. I got a meat hook at work today, and the only reason I actually have a Band-Aid on it is when I first poked my finger, it bled. I licked it. It bled. I licked it. It bled. I licked it, and then it was still bleeding, and it was like. And my coworker saw me doing what I was doing. They're like, "Sugi, go get a Band-Aid." And the bleeding actually didn't stop until I actually put some pressure on it and then raised the wound above my shoulder. Because, if you want to stop bleeding, raise a wound above your heart, and that will do a lot to stop the ebb the flow of bleeding. And then it was at that point I was able to use antiseptic wipe to clean it, and then I put some antiseptic ointment, and then I put the Band-Aid on, did all that good stuff. But yeah, I was reminding myself to wear the gloves so that way I keep dirt out of my flesh wounds. But I mean, I pick up flesh wounds a lot. Like, I got a real slight nick there. I cut open the rib of the edge of my thumb there. But hey, Mr. Spock. Just being move it quickly. Well, so the thing is, with my job, I play with sheet metal a lot, so I'm always like the thumb wound. I'm pretty sure I got that simply because I grabbed a piece of sheet metal and I just slid my thumb the wrong way, and it slit the thumb open. Well, it didn't. It slit the skin. It's very shallow. Typically, I'm used to getting lots of shallow wounds. I just get like mildly hurt a lot. So that's the thing. It's like mild hurts, mild ouchies, but it happens a lot. Is my dealio. So. Hosta Francis Williams. Let's see here. Let's get you tucked down in there. Do I like that? Yes, I like that. Yes. It's great. That's great. But yeah, I mean, I generally heal up in a pretty okay-ish amount of time, so. I mean, that's the thing with light injuries. Light injuries, they're not as lasting. Oh, hey, spaghetti. Hello. Good to see you. Oh, good to see you too. We're just playing out in the yard today. Playing out in the yard, planting some hostas. Planting some bleeding hearts, trilliums. Just doing some good old cozy gardening. Well, just fun gardening. I mean, good. So what is a shade garden? So a shade garden is a garden that can tolerate shade. So basically a shade garden is you just plant plants that can take the shade pretty well. I know it looks sunny right now where I'm at, but that's just because the tree that I'm under hasn't leafed out yet. But as you can see, there's not a lot of greenery here. So, and the game plan for today is to change that. So, ooh, I saw a centipede. So we've got a hosta here. 2 motorcycle crashes ago, I dropped the bike on a dirt road, landed on my right wrist. Ooh! Ripped the skin back on the outside bone thing, cleaned it out, put antiseptic on it, put the skin in place with duct tape. Yep. Not giant plants to provide you with shade. I get it now. Yeah. So, let's see. So, this is going to be one of our plants. It's called Bleeding Heart because, well, it looks like a heart that's ripped open up and bleeding. Now, I don't have nice pictures for the hostas, but hostas are kind of like low-growing plants that like have like really big leaves. They do really well in shade. You can also eat them, but I will not be eating these guys for a while because, well, I want them to grow healthy and strong. So for now, let's just go ahead, move you guys to around that plane of existence, because next plant goes there. I have hostas outside my front door. I can eat it. Whoa, yeah. You can plant some poppies. I don't have poppy bulbs. Not right now. I mean, I could get them. I mean, they're a pretty common plant to plant. So let's see. We've got plant, and I'm gonna go for this one. We're gonna say something like right here. And then here we've got more. Actually, I think I'll pop this one up. There we go. So this is, So I can get it to show this. But it's a little bit challenging. So let's see here. I don't know. So this is Star of Bethlehem. It is a bulb plant, so it produces like lots of small bulbs and grows out like this. But it's actually poisonous. But some people confuse it with wild garlic because it basically kind of grows like wild garlic, but there's white stripes on the leaves that distinguishes it from wild garlic. Also, if you break it and rub the leaf between your fingers, it will not smell garlicky because wild garlic will smell, of course, like garlic. And then additionally, for the final piece of ID, Star of Bethlehem does not have hollow leaves, whereas wild garlic will have hollow leaves. But yeah, that's what this stuff is. It's technically an invasive, but it's not the worst invasive. I have other far worse invasives, like this guy. I can grab him. So this is a little guy. So this is colory pear. It's very common ornamental in Eastern North America. And if you notice a white flowering tree that smells like middle school boys' gym socks, this is the offender. And yeah. Well, also it's known as Bradford pear. It is a very invasive plant. in eastern North America. Very not good for the environment. But that's also kind of the nice thing when these plants land here, is I can tear them out. I can't tear them out if they end up in the middle of the woods. Good to know to get them out. Yep. The correct way to prune a Bradford pear is to take a chainsaw and go across the bottom and then just drop the whole tree. That's just the best way to prune those trees. Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them wholesale. So since we're going to do a bleeding heart, the bleeding hearts have a lot larger root balls, root systems, things of that nature. Whoa! I'm just soil everywhere. Soil, dirt. Dirt. Okay, let's see. I want to kind of cut this out a bit more. Ooh, sounds a little bit rocky. You got a rock? You got a rock? Do I? It's a piece of brick! It's not rock, it's brick! I think a fellow watcher on YouTube made it ice. Oh, yeah! Funny enough, my sister showed me that person who made the Bradford pear ice cream. Oh, yeah, I found a chunk of brick. If this was Stardew Valley, that would have been an item. But this is not Stardew Valley. This is gritty real life. Okay, so pastas. These are my bleeding hearts. So yeah, got an okay size hole. So here's my So here's my root. You can kind of see a fair bit of new growth happening right there. So we're gonna tuck them nice and cozily into the dirt, and then we cover up with dirt. And since we don't have a lot of growth, I'm not too worried, so I'll just pat it down. You go back there, you come out, cover it with a little bit of mulch. One day you can make your own bricks from clay you dig up. I wonder how that would work. I mean, I could do that, but I would also need to get a kiln to very high temperatures and a kiln by high volume. I mean, well, a high volume kiln. There's actually a brick manufacturing company like a hour or so away from me. Damn it, I used a tool for something and I didn't put it back in its pocket of belonging. Sugi, always put it back in the pocket of belonging. So yeah, there's actually good clay for making bricks around the area where I live, but I don't know. I certainly don't mind doing a fair amount of bootstrapping, but I think there's only so much of civilization I'm willing to bootstrap. Bricks seem like too much work to me. I mean, blacksmithing's not too bad, but making bricks seems challenging. Now, if I was just making like standard bricks for like projects, that might not be too hard. But if I was trying to make like fire brick or like high performance bricks, that would be quite the challenge. So, oh man, we're an hour and 15 in. Still have plenty of plants. I'm gonna do you have plans for the rest of your garden? So, rest of my garden, well, so my garden, like my life, is a constant work in progress. So, essentially, my game plan for what we're doing here is I essentially bought as many plants as I could reasonably I basically just bought a set amount of plants for my budget, and then my game plan is to plant these out in the more sort of open facing areas of my homestead, and then as some of these plants grow, because like bleeding hearts we just planted, hostas I just planted, as they get like bigger and bigger year after year, I mean, this is going to be a while, you can actually dig them up, because a lot of the pieces that I've been planting have been small. They can grow bigger, and when they grow bigger, you can actually do what's called division on them. Do you buy pre-sprouted plants, or do you prefer to go from seeds? So it depends on the plant. For a lot of my more agricultural crops, I definitely go from seed. But everything I've been planting here today has been perennials. So most plants come in one or two forms. There's annual, and then there's perennial, and there's also biannual, which biannual is kind of its own thing. An example of a biannual would be a carrot. And in the case of a carrot, you have seed year one, becomes plant year one, grows a big root, and then in year two, that carrot plant uses all that energy in that root to grow a big flower stalk and produce seed. So it's a biannual, whereas say a sunflower is an annual. You plant the sunflower grows, becomes plant, flowers, produces seed, and then dies. And then you got to replant more seed to get more plant. Whereas perennials, they'll produce a root mass underground where they store energy in, and then they can use that to send up plants year after year. And that's that, like, reproductive strategy. Granted, they still do make flowers and they still do make seeds. They just don't produce seed year after year after year. It's interesting. I've never seen carrots go to seed. That's because carrots are a biannual plant, but they're grown as annuals. Like, we just grow them for the carrot root. Like, we just want them to store as much energy into their root, then we harvest it, and then we eat it. Only people who are like raising carrots for seed would actually bother letting the carrots go to seed. My neighbor has an asparagus field I harvest from sometimes. Yes, asparagus is also a perennial. When they go to seed, it's crazy. Yeah. So this is kind of this area right here. So I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna move the wheelbarrow over, and we'll get back to doing some more planting. So let's see, we were there. How about we go there? Oh gosh. Actually, this is really nice. I'm feeling blood in my legs again. Blood. Blood where it's supposed to be. About that. So this is actually my first time working with the streaming setup, and the iPhone tripod fell over and hit the keyboard. So, but yeah, right now I have just I just see tons of bred for pear seedlings that I have to pull up. Great, and I also have another invasive over here. Ugh. This one's a doozy. This is a really doozy of an invasive. This is honeysuckle. This is bush honeysuckle. That name is Lawrenceria japonica is the invasive vine honeysuckle. Lawrenceria mackinae is bush honeysuckle. So this is a very, very common invasive. And it's invasive because it's all leafy, bushy, and green. It looks good, just so you know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the light levels have been varying, but otherwise, things that I feel like have been good. So, part of the identification for it is it'll have what's called an opposite leaf arrangement. So you'll have one leaf on one side of the stem, and then the other leaf is on the other side of the stem. As opposed to alternate leaves, you'll have a leaf here, leaf down here. So in opposite, you always have pairs of leaves. That's one identifying aspect of it, and I don't know if it'll show up on a plant this small. Probably won't. But larger plants will have hollow stems, which is another identifying characteristic of it. But yeah, it's another, like the Bradford pears, it's spread by birds. Damn birds, giving me invasive. Okay, so we did, oh shucks, I'm forgetting where done plants. I think we did a bleeding heart there. So here, hosta. We'll do hosta. So I have tree root there, so we're gonna just shift our game plan. Come a little bit further this way, and I'll just keep us out because I've got a tree root going from here to here and here on down. So that is one of the downsides of planting underneath the trees, that you gotta deal with a fair amount of tree roots. Now I'm trying to not getting close to the tree, but still have to worry about the tree roots a little bit. There we go. Let's get in here and dig ourselves a nice little hole. Okay. So let's see if we can widen that out. Trim it out. All those good things. Now I'm going in with a hosta. Let's see. How well do I think I like that? I'll take a little bit of root tucking, but I like that. That will be, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Pack it in. Knife for mark. And then cover it back up again. Now this plant here, that's probably right at the edge of your screen. I think that's an aster, which that's native, but that will not flower until in fall. It's actually funny, I had some wild asters show up at the home, and I just was like, okay, hey, you're native plant. Sugi likes native plants. I'm gonna let you do your thing. I let them do their thing, and now I have asters everywhere. I think, yeah, because I actually, when I was doing some stuff in like the vegetable garden, which, depending on how squirrely I feel like getting at some point, we might do some vegetable garden stuff at some point. I don't know. I don't know if we'll get to that point or not, but that's just a. I'll wait. But we'll just see. We'll wait and see. I definitely have gathered some really good information today on how I want to do this for later streams. So we're here. I want to target here for my next plant. You cannot see where I wish to plant this plant. So, oh wow. You know what? There we go. There we go. This is where we're going next. This is going to be our next plant. And I think we'll do a bleeding heart here. Because I do want to make sure I get my bleeding hearts taken care of. So, start a Bethlehem here. Just going to get rid of you. Gone. Making way for something better. Something prettier. Something that takes up more room. And most importantly, something I bought from Costco. So we get a nice exposed area of dirt. And we start to dig. Man. Lots of fibrous tree roots here. Yoink. Yoink. Man, we really made it to like the other end of the equinox, because I was actually a little bit concerned about sunlight for today, because like, hey, I'm beholden the sunlight for this stream for lighting, and the sunlight has been good. So there is our bleeding heart. We're actually not going to go super deep. We'll probably have that just 1 inch below ground level. I think that's what it calls for. 1 or 2 inches. It calls for 2, but that's a request easily made. The stream could use different music, perhaps thrash metal. Oh, thrash metal for gardening? I mean, I'm actually personally a fan of metal music, Mr. Spock. I like my metal music. Okay, you lay there, because I need you to mark out, well, I'm joking, Sugi, great music. Now, you better watch out, Mr. Spock, with jokes with me. Because I will play up a good joke. I will certainly play up a good joke. No, it would be fun to have something a little bit more spicy, I guess. Neighborhood dog has identified me as a threat to the neighbor's borders. But I'm going to be staying within my borders because I only have enough internet cable in order to stick to my borders. Because, you know, as much as I wish to break free from the bondages of the internet, I'm still a VTuber, you know? I'm still digitally a thing. So, I've got here and here going. I'm gonna try. We're gonna do something like this to get into some. Damn. Okay. Well, the Spinadoodles does not play nice. There. And it's behind me. You guys can still see it though. This is next spot. This is next gardening. This is next. Sugi throws a plant in this area. Got a real big root. I like your VTuber model. It's very cute. And you have the matching fit. Aw, thank you. I was actually gonna wear my clothes for this, but I was like, nah, it's too cold. It's too cold. If I was around a nice toasty warm fire, that'd be great. But I don't have a warm toasty fire today. Maybe. Well, another time. There's more toasty fires. There's gonna be plenty more toasty fires. That's a start to my hole. So we did Hosta last. Do I want to go? Actually, it's been a while since we did a. What's their name? Abstis Bell. Need some good knee pads. Spock. I have knee pads and it's called wood mulch. I have wood mulch. I don't need knee pads. Not for here. Now, if I was on concrete, then yeah. Ooh yeah. You're very excited to grow. We appreciate that here. But yeah, no knee pads for today. No knee pads. Whoa. Then we'll just tuck you in. Yeah. Then we'll just cover you up nicely. There we go. And then just lay magic swell knife. And once again, cut wire. Nope. Pocket. Put in the pocket, Sugi. Put in the pocket. I think my wire went to have opinions with me. And with that, that's an abstain done. So I think next we'll do a hosta. So for the hosta, I used to load an aircraft years ago. Ooh, I never had knee pads because they're uncomfortable. I grabbed the first garment bag and used it as padding. Yeah. I mean, so I am using cardboard to keep my pants clean while I'm playing around in the mud. Oh, never wore. Yeah, one of the issues with like a lot of knee pads is they'll travel down your legs. They won't stay in like the knee pad position. Oh yeah. Okay, great. You guys can see this spot. This is our next spot. And there's some winter creeper, one of our not so lovely braces. Ankle pads, you mean? Yeah. That's a big thing. Knee pads become ankle pads very quickly sometimes. Kind of a pain in the butt, but do. Digging a hole. Oh God. How's my favorite Ed do the thing? He goes, dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole. Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole. Man. I feel sad that the next generation can't grow up with the quality of cartoons I had. I had some really good cartoons. Oh. Ooh. Look at that little feller. They're eager. They're ready to get out there and do their best growing thing. Whoa. So, let's see. And I do that number. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, and then we pat it down. Yep. Wait. Should put a koi pond in. Oh no. Koi pond sounds like it sounds like work that I'll also have to maintain. And there we go. Hasta. Glove. But yeah, koi pond too much work. Ponds in general are way too much work. I think if I'm gonna make good on the eventual Sugi digs a hole stream, I think I'm gonna do, I don't know, I have an old well pump. I might dig a well for that. Hastas, lavastas. Lots of hasta. Lots of hasta. Okay. So I really like the trajectory we're going in. So you guys can't see like the big picture, but we've been kind of going in the line, doing some alternating spacing. Spacing might be a little bit close by some people's standards, but we're not working by some people's standards. We're working by Sugi standards. So it is now time for us to advance this party wagon. Furthermore, out into the garden. Well, out into the yard. Because we're just kind of like going a ways. So, let's see if we can journey and I not drop my tripod on. Okay. And slowly. Nicely. Wonderful. overall, mostly wonderful. Except I have put myself in the middle of a bunch of invasives that I have to yeet. Don't understand, man. You really don't understand. Sugi's done a lot of invasive plant removal in his time volunteering for parks. You don't understand how volunteering changes a man, how it makes him hate the invasives. Damn invasives making me work when I could be doing other work like building bridges. Ugh. That's that one, and yeah. But did you try taking the treat bag to attract the cat? I don't have a treat bag. I have to get a treat bag, but granted, speaking of treats, I actually have a treat for me. So, I didn't mention earlier. So, here we have ourselves a common violet. This violet right here. This is edible. One of my favorite edible plants is violet. I love violet. It's like violets are so tasty. They're really genuinely tasty because they got like a kind of a nice like crisp texture to them. But man, how else do I? It's like a fresh spring flavor. But don't ever eat African violets. African violets, don't touch those. I don't know why, I don't know how, but they just become like this gooey mess in your mouth that's very unpleasant. Ask me how I know. African violets don't taste good. They don't taste good at all. And we're also, actually, oh wow. You can MacGyver up a treat bag and trick the kitty. Peanuts. Oh, peanuts would work, or dried lentils. I do have. I don't have shelled peanuts, but I do have just like unshelled peanuts. Oh, do we have a root there? Is it a big one? Might have to shift that hole this way a bit. But yeah. Essentially my game plan is I'm gonna stream as long as I have daylight. So, as long as we still have daylight. But once the daylight goes down, that'll be it for today. But we should have at least another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. Hopefully something like that. Ideally. But we will see. Oh, hey, that's a viney thing. Vine! Wonder if that's Virginia Creeper. Because there is some Virginia Creeper in this area. And there's also poison ivy. I also have poison ivy growing in this area. Because the birds plant poison ivy too. Okay, so we did a hosta last. Good work, Sugi. Oh, thank you. I think it's been a while since we done. Actually, no, it's been a while since we did a bleeding heart. We'll do a bleeding heart next. Yeah, we'll do this feller. I mean, would have been nice to maybe get a little bit more done, but considering the amount of like actual like territory covered, I'm very happy with it. So there's just a little bit of new growth there. A little bit of new growth. So get that feller covered up. Tucked in nice and tight. Then reapply wood chips. Pseudo mark with knife. But yeah, this has honestly been like a really solid stream. Granted, it was also like nervous as hell. Just because of, well, you know, like, hey, my neighbors see myself talking into a laptop in my front yard, you know? Like, I'm a little bit self-conscious. Well, a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough to be slightly bothered by it. The dog's like, hey, VTuber, stop talking to yourself. It's like, screw you. I'm gardening, man. I'm gardening. Okay, so we did a bleeding heart there. I want to do a hosta here. So, let's mosey on backwards. And I kind of like the spacing too, because it's actually, if all this stuff comes in, it's actually going to look really nice. My garden doesn't look like yours. Yours looks good. Oh, Mr. Spock. Actually, my garden is a lot more wild than other people's gardens. Actually, part of what I'm trying to do here today is I'm actually trying to make it a little bit more formal looking, because pretty much for the most part right now, most of this area is wood chips with whatever plants that birds have planted that have come up and I either have not weeded, in the case of the various invasives you've seen me deal with today, or plants that I know are good. For example, I have a little eastern red cedar right that way, over that way. I've got a little eastern red cedar. Because, well, they're just a naturally abundant tree species where I'm at. And also just wildly propagated by birds. I actually wish I had more volunteer trees of this tree I'm under, because it's a black maple. For those who don't know what a black maple is, it's basically a sugar maple, but it's a little bit more drought tolerant. Well, I would say actually a fair bit more drought tolerant than sugar maple. The sugar maple kind of likes sites that are a little bit more wet, whereas a black maple can actually tolerate drier conditions, which in an environment that's ever changing like our own gives black maples a competitive edge over the sugar maple. Okay, it's kind of a smallish hole, but I'm interacting with a lot of roots. Actually, wait a second. What we have? Jeepers creepers. Is it truly empty? Oh wow, it truly. Guys, this hosta bag. I have no hostas. I have no hostas, man. That means that bag is done. That means I can grab a fresh bag of hostas. And we get to crack open a fresh bag of hosta. If I can get mine out of my pocket. There. And zip. This is a good day. This has been a good day. Okay. So be gentle, Sugi. There we go. There we go. There is a biggest tree I have is a huge elm tree. Oh, 300 plus years old. Hell yeah. Oh man, that's nice. I don't have any old trees like that. Oh, actually, speaking of edible plants, I actually found some garlic, wild garlic. Hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, also extra hell yeah on the elm tree, Mr. Spock, because elms kind of were. They weren't like wiped out, but they went under a lot of pressure during the Dutch elm disease, finascal, that nonsense. But yeah, so it's cool to hear that there's still nice old trees like that at some point. One thing I really want to do as a content thing is I would love to do a hike. I would absolutely love to do a hike. I would love to do a hiking stream. Oh man, that's behind me, but that's fine. That's definitely very much in stuff I wish to do. But that's also a matter of figuring out the logistics of it, which is pretty much the ongoing battle that Sugi has. For him to do the things that he wants to do is he's got to figure out the logistics of it, which I need to look into seeing how like other streamers do their like IRL more mobile stuff. I'm very much interested in how they do that. Okay. That looks to be a pretty good size hole. So we just did a hosta. Actually, am I down to my last one of the bleeding hearts? Because there's a bleeding heart there. Yep. So, just like with my... Oh, wait. Nope. So just like with my hosta bag, we're out. We are out. We're out. We're done. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at where my growing tips are coming out at. And that's going to inform me of how I bury it. Then, let's tuck it in. Nice and cozy like. And then we'll cover up. Some nice pat downs. Knife the mark. Glove the mark. Granted, I'm actually surprised this bit of galvanized wire I have is going to last the whole stream. Because I have more. because I didn't know how far that roll was going to go. But granted, I definitely have plenty of marking tape. But that's actually the nice thing about marking flags is I have an overflowing abundance of them. Now, granted, unfortunately, these are the plastic ones. You can get a paper type of these that are biodegradable, but Tractor Supply did not sell those. I think Menards sells biodegradable flagging though, because I volunteer with people who use that stuff. Okay, so that's going to be there. I have a plant here. I'm thinking the spot here over my head. Looks like a good spot. Looks like a really good spot. Actually, I think I also see another spot further along, but you know what? We're gonna focus on what's in front of us right now. Granted, I actually do like the huge. Oh, almost on the chicken coop. Missed it by inches. I'm gonna cut it up for the best bonfire. Oh yeah. Some of the twigs from this tree that I'm under, I've used as kindling for some of my campfires. And I have also scattered ashes from fire pits over here. Because, you know, ashes are full of lots of good minerals. Almost. Stabby, stab, stab. Dig, dig, dig. Let's see. I did my last bleeding heart, so this is definitely gonna be a hosta. We're gonna keep hosta. Well, we're just gonna be doing lots of hostas. I like hostas. Ooh, nice. A bit more out. Oh yeah. Really starting to like how this hole's going. And yeah. Yes. So here is our next beautiful little hosta. Then just gonna tuck it in there nicely, like so. And then give it a nice covering of soil. And some debris. Wonderful. Man, I really can't wait to do like more gardening stuff. Shucks. If I feel squirrely enough, we might even do some stuff like we might do some blackberry picking. We'll do that. I'm also thinking about I'm thinking once my crabapple finishes flowering, we'll do a pruning stream on it, because my crabapple definitely can use some pruning. So let's see here. Let's drop you to this territory. I'm thinking right there. Me home for the next plant. Actually, what time is it? Oh, wow. Nice. Very nice. Doing pretty well. Okay. Let's get in here. So I've got plant here, so we're going to kind of go a little bit in between, but further away. So if you imagine like a line between them, we're kind of making a triangle almost. And that's going to give us a pretty good spacing, I think. And then we'll probably be doing, because we're out of the bleeding hearts, we got all those done, so. Actually, wait, that's actually 2 of our plants done. Oh, wow. I'm actually getting good with this one-handed hoary work. Okay. So, where is one of you? Want to do a biscuit? Because one of the things about these guys is they've been putting out a fairly significant amount of growth, and because they've been putting out a fairly significant amount of growth, I have to be very, very careful with them to make sure I don't damage them. So I don't want to damage them. Sugi is a guy who takes care of the plants, not damages the plants. So, just nice covering, some tapping in. And then now get some wire. And we are down to our last piece of wire. Actually, Sugi, don't do that. I warned yourself. I told you earlier. Keep that stuff in your pocket. It's more useful to you in the pocket. Okay. How far south are you? I can't plan anything till May. Oh, so I'm in Kentucky. So my last frost date is mid-April. But considering a lot of this stuff is going to be basically hibernating in the ground for a while, getting established before it really starts poking itself up, I've got I feel good about having the 2 weeks roughly till then. Okay, so got there. Now I gotta move this party train. This is probably going to be the last moving of the party train for today, but wow. Okie dokie here. Now return wheelbarrow to level, and we're basically going to run over that eastern red cedar. And how's that? That seems reasonable. I feel like we can reach a couple planting spots here. Now, granted, we have also, unfortunately, exposed ourselves to more terrible invasives. Damn Bradford pears. Ugh. Man. That's the terrible thing about invasive tree species is they just have like really deep tap roots. That makes them like lots of taproot. Absolute tons of taproot. Making it way too much work to eliminate them. And I suppose that's just also part of what makes them invasive. So we are here. I think this is going to be our next spot. So we'll go here. So we'll clean out nice little area. Oh. And now, funny enough, with the direction where we're going now, we're actually moving away from the tree. So tree roots are going to become less of an issue, but you're just a fungus, aren't you? Huh. Oh, that's a fungus. The laser thing to zap the unwanted plants. Huh. It's a fungus, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. It's a wrinkly boy. It's a very wrinkly boy. Huh. I'm actually gonna put that in the ground once I get my hole dug out. Well, we'll go back in with the plant. It's not gonna hurt it. There's a fungus among us. Yes. Yes, Mr. Spock, there is a fungus among us. Darn fungus. Okay. I think it's hosta time. It's time for another hosta. Ooh. There we go. I just love how all these plants are just really eager to leaf out, do their thing, grow, succeed. Oh, fungus. I actually want to put you back in there. Because you're kind of weird. You're like very truffly. Because it was like a ball. It's like, there's no way that can be an actual truffle. Truffles like oaks, not maples. Okay. We'll just grab our wire. Our handy dandy magic wire. Set that there. Do-do. Sorry about that. Oh boy. Oh geez, George. It's getting dark, George. Alright. So I'm going to mark that, fellers. There. Now. I'm thinking... No, I actually have... Actually, you guys can't see the red clover. Thinking... Let's see here. Let's get you guys, see if you can't see... Oh, there's soil knife. There's soil knife, coon. So this is going to be where... And then we got more of that bread for pear nonsense. Granted, right here is... This one is actually pivot. That's that invasive right there. So, what did I say? Right there, right over there. It's right over there, Sugi. Remember, when your coworker tells you to go grab the pipe stretcher, just keep looking. Just keep looking. Okay. I'm going to carve this hole out a little bit because I'm going to go in with the Abistine for this one. You know, been trying to vary it. Like we do a hosta, then we do another thing, then we do a hosta, then we do another thing. Okay. Yes. Ooh. That air's really starting to pick up the chill. Okay. Here we go. There's our Abistine. We'll tuck it. Nice and cozy like. And then just put some soil on it, like so. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. And now Sugi's gotta find his wire, his extra wire. I had extra wire. Here's my extra wire. Wire! I found my wire. Do-do-do. Bum, bum, bum. Click, click, click. Yada, yada. Blah, blah, blah. Keepers creepers. Aye. Wowie. Oh. Oh, gee willikers. Oh. Ah. Wire's sharp. Wire's sharp and very pokey. Okay. Do. We'll do this number. Hook. Thread through. Jeepers creepers wind. You're really making me feel the fact that it's still early spring. We're not in warm spring yet. Still good, nice chill to the air. Almost like an autumn chill to the air. Except it's just not autumn. Okay. So we got a couple of plants there, and there. I want this to work there. I don't know if it wants to play nice. I can't get that to play nice. So I think we'll come out this way. So we'll try for here. So I think we're close. Ah, it's not gonna get me. It's not gonna get me, George. Ah, come on. Why doesn't it wanna? There. That's all it. Oh, no. There we go. Oh. Okay. You know what? I'm okay with that, because I'm okay being a little bit personal, because this is going to be our last plant for the night. We're going to do one more hosta. We're going to end it positively on a hosta. because I'm just about out of light. You guys can see a little bit, but I am definitely getting to the point where my old man eyes are having trouble seeing. Ooh. There we go. And ups-a-doodles, ups-a-doodles, ups-a-doodles. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. I think that's a good amount of that. So, there you guys go. There's our last hosta for this evening. And really want to try to break up like large dirt clogs just to help get things nice and settled. There we go. There's that. Grab some wire. There we go. Pliers are gonna go back where they came. Woo! Getting dark quick. There we go. And with that, let's mark this fella out. And there we go. And that's it. We have planted a shade garden. Funny enough, we've actually got this started. It's not done. It will not be done for quite some time. I'm also goofing you guys up forward. Sorry. Because I'm just gonna check some things and see what I want to do here. Because yeah. So don't know about you all, but so I'm gonna wrap up stream. I'm gonna be also getting ready to hop into my vehicle and see a dear friend of mine. And yeah, so I hope you guys get out there, touch some grass, hang out with your friends, loved ones, whatever makes you happy. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today while I play in the dirt. This may have not been exactly the most exciting thing, but I had a grand old time. I had a lot of fun. Got actually a fair amount done. So all good things, all good things. So I'd like to wish all of you out there, may you have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.